Hello everyone. Today we will see file handling in Python. File handling in Python, or we can say the file handling using Python programming language. As we know that Python is a very popular language, so it is also used for handling various types of files for serving different purposes. So basically we should understand what is file. As we have already heard that I have a file, some data is being stored in the file. I have audio files, I have video files. So everything that we store as uh, a content is being called as a file. So basically a file is a collection of data stored on secondary storage device like hard disks. So we know that the file that you store on secondary storage devices like hard disks, where it is called as a permanent storage device apart from your primary storage. File is basically used because real life applications involve large amounts of data, and in such situations the console oriented operations pose two major problems. First, it becomes cumbersome and time consuming to handle huge amount of data through terminals. Second, when doing input output using terminal, the entire data is lost when either the program is terminated or computer is turned off. So therefore it becomes necessary to store data on a permanent storage like a disk and read whenever necessary without destroying the data. For this case, every time you cannot have the data to be generated on the command line interface, and then you have to access this, then it will again, if your program gets terminated, your data will go off, the file will not be stored. So it is very necessary that you should store the data in the file, and where you will be doing certain operations, and after doing certain operations you will have to save the contents in the file, and you will have to make sure that the contents which are saved in the file should be available when you go for the next operations to be done. Now coming to the file handling in Python, right, we have various operations to be done on files. Now what are these two various operations? First is reading operation, reading, then second is writing, and third is appending. As we know, these are the three very important operations that we do with the help of with files, right? So reading is basically reading the file when file does exist. So this is, so if you want to read a file, there should be a file, so you have to, let's see, make sure that you should open that file, or you should reach to that directory where the file is being already created, already available, so that you will be able to read the contents of that file. Now for writing of the file, obviously you should have a file to write. File does exist to write contents in the file, right? So if, let's see, if there is no file available, and if you want to write the contents in the file, in that case, if file is not available, it will create the file. It will create the file, and very important, contents which you are writing are overwritten. So this is important. So if you have a file, you can write the contents, it will be overwritten obviously, and if you don't have a file, it will try to create the files in the same location that you have provided, and again the contents will be put in the file, or if the contents are available, then you will be able to write in the files. Now what is the difference between reading and writing? Is reading is just read the file which is already available, Writing is, if the file is already available, you will have to write the file. Okay, contents are overwritten. If it is not, then it will create the file. Now appending the file means you can add contents to the file if file does exist, already has existence of the files. So it will go to the end of the content in the file to append the text or any content. So this is append. Okay, the same things if file is not having existence, then it will create the file, and obviously the pointer at this stage, pointer will be at the beginning of the file, at the beginning of the file content, at the beginning. So these are the three various operations to be done on the files, very important operations. Now let me directly go to the IDE called as a PyCharm, or you can use any other IDE available for just doing operations with the file. So for creating a file or for having a file and then reading the contents of the files, you have various things. We'll just go with the basics. For in that case, we have one particular syntax to deal with the file which is there. Now the syntax is, you have to create a file object, okay, which you can give any name of that, of the function called as open, in which you'll have to pass two parameters in double quotes. First parameter is name of the file, and second parameter, which is very important, the mode of the file, right? So this will help you to create the object of the file, and then after creating the object of the file, let's see, file object is the name given to the object of the file which you have specified the path. Then you will have to specify with the help of dot operator methods associated with the objects, methods. So these methods could be methods can be read, write, append, or many more. So this is the two basic statements, or we can say syntax, that you can use while dealing with the files. Now coming to the PyCharm directly, let's see, we are going to create, okay, or we are going to read the contents from the file. Let's see, here there is no file, so I need to create a new file here. So let's say I'm going to create a text file. So text name is abc.txt. So this file is created. Now here there are no any contents which are available. Okay, so let me put some contents into this. Welcome to Python programming. This is the contents which I have given in the file. Okay, now coming to the program using Python, file.py is the extension of that program which will help you to access this file. For that case, let's see, I want to create an object called as file handler is equal to open. So we need to open that file, that is abc.txt. So abc.txt, this is the file name. Okay, obviously this file is inside the PyCharm directory, so we don't need to specify the path. Otherwise, if you miss the correct path, then you'll have to specify the correct path so that you'll be able to reach to that file efficiently. And then the board of the file, obviously we are going to read this file. So there is R is the keyword can be used for reading, for reading. Okay, W is for writing, and A is for appending the contents to the file. Now we have created a handler successfully. Now let me print the contents of the file. For that case, let's see, say print is the function which will try to read the contents of the file. Let me directly call the file handler dot read is going to read the contents of the file, and let me run this program. Okay, so program is successfully running, but we are not able to print the contents of the file as we have not used the print function. So we will use the print function.